Okay, third time's a charm. Lisa here from Four City Stitching. I hope everyone had a great week. I'm filming from my kitchen, so you might hear Yoshi squawking a little bit. Hopefully Sully will leave him. Now he's having a drink of water. I had to stop my last intro because he was barking. So it is one of those evenings. Had a run to Port Stanley this morning, and then I joined the Canada chats, and here we are. Before I get into my showing what I stitched on, I did want to do one shout out to Stitching NT with B. I have a whole bunch of things on my watch later list, and I finally got to the interview she did with the Dutch Stitcher. And she was talking about how she talks about tea in an informative way. So I have been, yesterday I spent the majority of the afternoon going through her past videos and just watching the tea section. Not that I'm not interested in her stitching, but time. So I just went back to the tea sections just so I could learn a little bit more about tea. And so I just wanted to shout her out because it is very interesting indeed. All I have is my Kaylee 10 stitch fabric, and this is Artichoke Heart, and there's Arlo. So it has hints of green and pink. What I think I might use this for is, if it's big enough, is for the pattern that I'm going to be doing a round robin with next January. I know, Carla, do you really need that? I know Sheila, Mrs. Stitches, has mentioned it, and I'm very glad for her enthusiasm. But yeah, so it's going to be Sheila, Mrs. Stitches, Karen the Stitching Owl, Kathy from Quilts and Stitching, it's 3, Sarah the Rocking Chair Stitcher, 4, and Darlene from Darlene Tion Designs. When you try really hard not to forget someone, then sometimes your mind goes blank. Yeah, so I think that accounts for everyone. Yeah. And then I would make up the 6th person. So we are going to do the Flosstube Friends pattern from October House Fiber Arts. So I have emailed Stitch It Central to ask if they could order that in for me. Yeah, so we are looking at starting that in January. So very exciting. Okay, let's get to my stitching. So I'm very behind on my AB Single and my Great British Bake Off because, not that I want to get into recent events, because I don't. But you'll see I pulled out Disagree in the middle of this week because I felt that that's where my stitching anger should go. But yeah, so I did work on Prairie Schooler Santa. I guess this was on Sunday is when I worked on that. And so this was a part of my AB Single, and I just added the green to his coat. Words, Lisa. Words. Coat. Coat is not an odd word. Okay. And then Extraordinary Birds came out for a little bit. I think overall I'm about 50% done. That's how Extraordinary Birds is looking. And I focused on the peacock up here. So that looks pretty good. And then playing with jacks from the Cricket collection. I think there's still one color I need for this pattern. I don't know how. I think it's white. I don't know. But I worked on the black, on that black pumpkin. That's how that one is looking. Sorry for the tail that is hitting the screen. The orange cat rules the house. I pulled out my August ornament, which was a free pattern that went along with the August 2020. I'm sorry, it went with the 2020 Linen and Threads Mystery Salve, and we got an ornament each month. And this is the August ornament. So that's how this one's looking. And on our candid chats. Arlo, please leave your tail alone. We were talking about chloris, and this is a chloris. And it's 4515. No, Sully. Okay, let's move. Sully, please stop. I'll try to move this along a little quicker so his barking is not too disruptive. Yeah. So yeah, we were talking about chloris on our Canada chat. So that was fitting that had popped up. And then last but not least, I have been working on... Sully, please stop. Sully, do you want to go for a walk? That's what I thought. Most dogs, if you say you want to go for a walk, they get excited. My dog goes and lays in his crate. Disagree by Rebel Stitcher. So as I said, I felt like that needed to come out this week. So it did, and it came out for Arlo. Put your tail down. And it came out for 1,100 stitches. So that is how that is looking. All the way across. There were many times I had to frog. This is on a Kaylee 10 stitch fabric, and it's stitched in chalkboard by Roxy Floss. Lay down. Lay down. And that's it. That is all the stitching I had. So now I need to get back on track with AV Single, because I'm really behind on that, in addition to the Great British Bake Off. So those will be my focuses for this coming week. Yeah. So sorry that this video was a little bit more chaotic than normal. But the animals rule the roost around here. And that's why I usually do it upstairs. But my husband went to work and my son said he was going to the basement. So I thought, hey, instead of taking all my stuff upstairs, I would just do it here. And that's what I get. So have a good week, everyone, and we'll talk to you next week.